Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Dhiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 31. Narada instructs Prachetas. Shloka number 10. Kim Janmabis Tribirveha Kim Janmabis Tribirveha Shaukra Savitra Yajnakihi Karma Birvatrayi Proktahi Pumsopi Vibhudayusha Kim Janma Bistribirveha Shaukra Savitra Yajnakihi Karma Birvatrayi Proktahi Pumsopi Vibhudashaya Kim Janma Bistribirveha Shaukra Savitra Yajnakihi Karma Birvatrayi Proktahi Pumsho Vibudash Yusa. We'll go to word meaning. Kim, what is the use? Janmabihi, of births. Tribihi, three. Va, or iha, in this world. Shaukra, by semen. Savitra, by initiation. Yagnikahi, by becoming a perfect Brahmana. Karmabihi, by activities. Va, or Trayi, in the Vedas. Proktahi, instructed. Pumshaha, of a human being. Api, even. Vibhuda, of the demigods. Ayusha, with a duration of life. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. Jai Srila Prabhupada. So, translation. As a civilized human being has three kinds of births. The first birth is by a pure father and mother, and this birth is called birth by semen. The next birth takes place when one is initiated by the spiritual master, and this birth is called Savitra. The third birth, called Yagnika, takes place when one is given the opportunity to worship Lord Vishnu. Despite the opportunities for attaining such births, even if one gets the lifespan of a demigod, if one does not actually engage in the service of the Lord, everything is useless. Similarly, one's activities may be mundane or spiritual, but they are useless if they are not meant for satisfying the Lord. ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we will study the purport of this particular shloka. It is a little long. So we see that here Narad Muni is instructing the Prachatas on various different subjects, and specifically here, today's subject it's talking about the importance of performing devotional service. So one may be materially qualified, not qualified, nor maybe performing some spiritual rituals or something like that. But then the real thing is to be engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. So that is the real ultimate thing. So that is the essence of today's shloka. So today we'll try to study the purport. So the word shaukra janma means taking birth by seminal discharge. Animals can take their birth in this way too. However, a human being can be reformed from the shaukra janma as recommended in the Vedic civilization. before take before the birth takes place or before father and mother unite, there is the ceremony called Garbhadan Samskar, which must be adopted. This Garbhadana Samskar is especially recommended for higher caste, especially the Brahmana caste. In the higher caste, the entire family in the higher caste, it is said in the Shastras that if the Garbhadan Samskar is not practiced among the higher caste, the entire family becomes Shudras. Hmm. Okay. So it is also stated in this age of Kali, everyone is Shudra due to the absence of Garbhadan Samskar. So now we see that a very important principle is mentioned here. Why it is mentioned that in the higher caste Garbhadan Samskar is needed? Because the lower people can know the naturally the tendency of this material world is something it's degrading. So without anything, without any samskara, what comes out is the Shudra or lesser than that. So if something higher is needed, so then we need to do something. It's just like if you want to get some good mark, we need to study. So getting low marks, we don't need to study. We don't need to do it, take any extra endeavor. Easily we can get low marks. So in the same way, here also we see that if we want to get some progeny which is of higher in nature, which is to produce children of very high quality, so then the parents have to accept this Garbhadan Samskar. So this is very, very essential, at least amongst the devotee community. It is like our seniors have always mentioned that whenever there is an opportunity is there to speak about this particular thing, especially the samskaras. So we should try to speak about that, and we should try to inspire devotees to follow samskaras. So sometimes it is seen that devotees also like take it very lightly, saying that okay, now we are devotees, we are chanting the Hare Krishna, and we are like taken to a transcendental process. So these samskaras are part of the Varnashrama, and no, we are beyond Varnashrama. So like so sometimes devotees also have that kind of this one. So but it is very essential. So if we see Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, or sorry, Baldev Vidyabhushan very nicely categorizes the devotees. So he mentions that there are devotees who are like very much on the material plane, who are practicing devotional service, but their attachment is towards the material things. And then there are another class of devotees who are like quite nicely, they are doing material activities just as a support system, but their main business is devotional service. And then the third category of people are the ones who are fully dedicated for devotional service and not taking any support from the material activities. So it is mentioned that people who are on the material plane, like who have a lot of material goals, they must follow all the rules and regulations. And people whose life is primarily based on devotional service and material things are taken only as a support, so they execute the rules and regulations very nicely just to set an example for the common people. And only the higher stage, like the Nirapeksha people, so they are like completely devoid of they don't follow any rules and regulations of material things because they're fully immersed in the Krishna Bhakti. So, and they are generally renunciants. So if you see in this maximum of the category, it is very much expected that even devotees also follow the rules and regulations of the varnashrama as much as applicable and possible. So it is, and especially these kind of samskaras, which is going to sow the seed for the next generation, which is going to be the foundation for the next generation. So this must be followed, right? So otherwise we will only create a very difficult kind of, or very troublesome kind of a population in the future. So sometimes devotees also have this one that like we try to educate our children very nicely, but they are not accepting it. So the reason must be something else, so this what kind of soul that we have attracted into the home. So that also depends. If the soul is somebody who's not interested in Krishna consciousness and we are thrusting Krishna consciousness upon them, so it may not work actually. So better is to follow this samskara, and attract a very qualified soul, attract a soul who is already in the path of advancement in Krishna consciousness, and we can actually support, right? So the another thing extreme that that has been asked in this particular regard is that what then for the souls who are not very advanced, we should serve them also, right? So we should liberate them also. So and like we don't need to worry about that particular category. So many people are producing that category, so we don't there is no dearth of it actually. And even that category, generally in book distribution also, this particular logic is asked all the time, that if somebody is not interested, we should go and catch them, and we should bang on their head and things like that, philosophy. So people who are automatically taking, anyway they are pious, so the point is that the people who are not interested, so we are also investing piety in them by the way of showcasing ourselves with the Vaishnava attire, and when they see our tilak and our dress, and when they see that, oh, these are Krishna devotees, and when they see a book and things like that, so the piety is getting invested in them, right? And then when they accept prasadam or hear the holy name, so the piety is getting invested in them. So that much is sufficient for them. Later on they will, because of this deposit of piety, at certain point in time, so they will be ready to accept the philosophy, right? And then we see that once our Achyutu was mentioning this example. So in the book distribution, when we show, we showcase ourselves as devotees, and then we show the books and things like that. So just like magnet, when it is exposed, iron particles automatically get attracted. So in the same way, when we just dress up as devotees, and then we practice our sadhana very nicely, and then we go out, so automatically people who are more advanced in their piety, so they will automatically get attracted to such a this one, such a display. So it is very essential, so we attract the advanced souls, and we help them to advance more, and then we help the less advanced people by the way of distribution of prasadam or distribution of the holy name, and by the way of we stepping out on the street. So in that way, we can actually deposit sukruti in the people who are very less advanced. So it takes a lot before somebody can actually come to our Gita course or our device to come and sit and hear. It takes a lot actually before they come to that point. Many devotees would have invested in them. It is not that suddenly somebody who's very sinful, and then he actually comes up. And we may have this question also, that there are many people who are actually sinful, who are having bad habits, and we actually rescued them, we saved them, so like that. So it is not like that. So they may externally be having some bad habits right now, but the spiritual sukruti and the bad habits can coexist in a person. So it is not a very difficult proposition. They can coexist, and it is not that they are very fallen. So they may be very advanced, and maybe little bit of this one is there. So it takes a lot. So all the time we should preach, and preaching means not just speaking. Preaching means not just giving the philosophy or something like that. So preaching means to distribute the holy name. Preaching means to dress up in the Vaishnava attire, and preaching means to perform nice sadhana and then stepping out on the street. So all these things actually preaching. No, why? Because it is making a person to advance, from wherever he is to the next level. So it is very, very essential. So in all these cases, we see that for devotees, who are very qualified, so they can actually attract a qualified soul and then develop him further, right? So you see that many big education institutes, so they have such a very tough entrance exam, and then they bring nice bright students and then they make them more brighter. So like that. So other lower institutes are there, to cater to the people who are not very studious and things like that. So but it is very, very essential that devotees, they attract good souls and then they train them to become more advanced in Krishna consciousness. So that is something which no other family can do, only a devotee family can do, right? So it is very essential to do this samskara. And then it is mentioned that if somebody is not doing this samskara, or if this whole society, the higher caste, they don't do this samskara, so then even the so-called higher caste will become Shudra. So that is why it is mentioned that in Kali Yuga everyone will be Shudras. So because there is no practice of this particular samskara that is there. So now at this point, now Srila Prabhupada actually switches the purport into another stream. So he says that, so this is Vedic system, whatever we have seen now is the Vedic system. So the other system is called Pancharatrika system. So what are these two different systems all about? So Vedic system means you need to have a proper, like a person, if we have to train a person in Krishna consciousness, he should be born in a Brahmana family with proper samskara. So without that, he cannot be trained further. If Shudra comes and says, like, I want to advance in Krishna consciousness, I want to practice worshipping the deity. So the Brahmana would say, like, first, practice your Shudra Dharma nicely and then die. Then take birth as a Vaishya, practice your Vaishya Dharma nicely and then die. So then you become a Kshatriya and then you become a Brahmana. So then you can come to the point of worshipping the deity. Till then, forget it. So that's the Vedic system, Pancharatrika system. Sorry, Vedic system. Right. So now Pancharatrika system means any person from anywhere, if he has got a little inclination to practice Krishna consciousness, put him on the live wire, high current, so give up everything, like it is the point that comes Tyaktva Swadharmam Charanam Bhujam Harer. So like Bhajanna Pakvata Patet Tato Yadi. So okay, not this, the other one. In the 11th canto it comes, Krishna Varna Tusha Krishnam, in that, this one, Deva Rishi Bhutaptananam Pitranam. So in that we see that even if a person like has got so many different obligations, so he is a Shudra, he has got many different obligations, or a Vaishya, he has got many different obligations. So he gives up everything and then he takes up the shelter of the Lord. Gato Mukundam Parijatya Kartum. So he takes the shelter of the Lord completely and then he practices devotional service 24/7. Like everything that he does is fully dovetailed into Krishna consciousness. So then such a system actually is called Pancharatrika system, which is very, very high power system. The Vedic system is the purifying factor in all the systems that we have is the remembrance of the Lord, or is the intensity with which we actually practice or remember Krishna, or like do the Krishna bhajan. So in the Vedic system, the purifying factor is of very less power. It's like maybe like our DC current. So and then in the Pancharatrika system is like AC current, that too it's like live wire. Main pole message wire aisa wire. So when we catch that wire, sab kuch jal jata hai. So nothing remains, no material tinge actually remains. It becomes very, very powerful. So but the DC current, it takes a long time to process, long time it takes to like do its job. So the Vedic system, in general, the Vedic system has to be protected. So in general, like people would not practice this high power, high current system. So general practice is that the Vedic system has to be established in the common society, and then the Pancharatrika system should be used to like turn people who are very interested in Krishna consciousness and make them very serious devotees, right? So according to the Pancharatrika system, however, even though However, even though everyone is a Shudra due to the absence of Garbhadan Samskar, if a person has a little tendency to become Krishna conscious, he should be given the chance to elevate himself to the transcendental platform of devotional service. Our Krishna conscious movement adopts this Pancharatrika Vidhi as advised by Srila Sanatan Goswami, who says, Yata Kanchanatham Yati Kamshyam Rasa Vidanatah Tata Diksha Vidanena Dvijatvam Jayate Nrinam. So here Prabhupada often quotes this particular shloka. Just like the gold is there, and with proper treatment with the mercury, it can be turned into, bell metal, with the proper treatment of mercury, it can be turned into gold. In the same way, a common man, even if he's from the Shudra background, the Tata Diksha Vidanena. So, like by the process of Diksha, Dvijatvam Jayate Nrinam. So, like a person can be converted into a Dvija. He can be like made into a Dvija. As bell metal, when mixed with mercury, is transformed to gold. A person, even though not golden pure, can be transformed into a Brahmana or Dvija simply by the initiation process. So this simply by initiation process means it's not just like some naam mil gaya or mala mil gaya. Matlab, no, it is not like that. So it is mentioned. It is not mentioned as initiation ritual. It is initiation process. So the process of initiation is like very, very important. Few shlokas before, like we were having this process of initiation. So process of initiation, it is complete and it is proper when we have certain qualifications. In the Sunday feast, like we discussed this particular shloka, that when we approach for initiation, there are certain qualifications that a devotee must have. He should be he should be fixed in the goal, what he is supposed to achieve. If he is not fixed in the goal, so then he will not be getting the actual benefit of the initiation, right? So it is just like if a person is going to get an admission in a college, so then we ask like, what do you want to become? So वो बोल रहा पता नहीं, then कौन सा course में admission लेंगे? So अभी पता नहीं, जो भी मिलेगा admission ले लेंगे. So then it is not a very good thing, right? So he knows, he has a plan that I want to become an engineer or a doctor or something like that, and then he goes to a particular course and enrolls himself, and then he has a goal to clear the exam, Otherwise, like there are many people who come to the college and who never clear the exam, so who will be there, forever. So it is not like that. So if the initiation process is not taken seriously, we may be performing the ritual of our external Krishna conscious activities, but we will not go further. So just like sometimes we discuss this topic. There are the chanting of the names of the Lord is there. So in India, though, it is quite common. Everyone chants the names of the Lord. Many people have the name like Krishna, Govinda, and like what else, like Ram. So many people have this kind of name. So everyone literally chants. Even a Muslim in India chants the names of the Lord, right? So everyone literally chants the names of the Lord. So what is the benefit? They get some punya and they get to certain level of Krishna consciousness. And then if they have to go further, they need to take the association of devotees, they need to follow the rules and regulations and things like that. And then if they have to go further, so then they have to actively work upon, like giving up their anarthas. They have to pray to the Lord, to remove these anarthas and make them to go further. And then if they have to still go further, they need to have intense attachment towards the goal, that they need to achieve, Krishna Prem. So if the intensity of intensity of desire to attain the goal is not there, a person may be stuck, he will become stuck at certain level in Krishna consciousness, and then he will not make further progress. The rituals will be going on, but he will not make further progress. But anyways, once somebody enrolls into Bhakti Yoga process, so in other yoga processes, like Lord just leaves, Bahunam Janmanam Ante, like you can just take as long as you want, like appear hote raho exam mein, it's like exam is the death, So any number of births, you keep going on, like the Lord also allows him to go. There is no intervention of the Lord. Whenever you want to perfect that particular yoga system, you perfect. But in Bhakti Yoga, the Lord is an anxiety. When the devotee is not practicing nicely and he's stuck and he's not getting any intensity, लॉर्ड लाइक नो जोर से थप्पड़ मारते हैं नो सब कुछ अच्छा ही जा रहा था ना so no everything was going nice no what happened now suddenly like so much of turbulence and then he starts asking question no I have left everything and I'm practicing Krishna consciousness like this is the highest process and still there is so much of problem and then some devotee comes and says become serious Prabhu no it is not that no this world is not for that no we can practice things coolly peacefully and things like that no so jitna jaldi nikal sakte nikalna hai so and when we become slow no the biggest like amazing no quality of this bhakti yoga process is the Lord will not allow the like a bhakti yogi to rest in peace so like he that is a very amazing aspect the Lord actually pushes things no so this particular process of Krishna consciousness is powered by like no we tell no like many different products no powered by Intel powered by so it's like powered by the no like backed up and powered by the power of no the Supreme Lord Krishna or even more specifically Srimati Radharani so it is very very powerful no that is why no this anybody who enrolls into Krishna consciousness no they make progress no whether they like it or not so that cartoon no I like it very much that in one WhatsApp circulation it had come one devotee no by mistake he entered into Krishna consciousness no and then now Krishna is dragging him no back to Godhead and the devotee is telling no Krishna not so soon no, right now I have to do so many other things and Krishna is not listening he's just simply dragging you so no that is the effect of Krishna consciousness no even if somebody performs very pathetically in this case it is mentioned that tyaktva swadharmam charanambujam harer vajan apakvata patet tato yadi no Narad Muni is asking even if he gives up the material life he gives up all the varnashram duties and things like that and he has taken up Krishna consciousness with full force and then bhajan apakva he is not very like perfect in executing his Krishna bhajan and then he falls down from his path of executing his pure Krishna consciousness no Narad Muni is asking still what is the problem no still like he's glorious no he's like no it is never going to be a problem no a devotee when he falls he will not fall like a materialist no even if he falls no Krishna is going to be there always no that is the beauty of this process of Krishna consciousness so that is why whenever this question comes like so much of rules and regulations is there and one devotee actually was in depression so like very nicely practicing devotee was in depression and I asked like what is your depression so then what is your problem so why are you feeling so low in Krishna consciousness so then he told me that whenever I read Bhagavad Gita I see that so much of rules and regulations are there if you don't do this you'll be like you'll become sinful and you'll get this reaction and things like that and all so I always see Krishna as a person who's ready to readily waiting to actually punish me so his image of Krishna is like not the suhridam sarvabhutanam or like not the all merciful Lord or like blissful personality and things like that or beautifully smiling personality and Leela Purushottam and things like that. His image of Lord is that he's a punisher. Shasta Swapitaro Sushu. That what is that? Like who for whom it is Virada Vidusham. No, not Virada Vidusham. Mallana Mashner, Ninam Naravare, Srinam Smaro Murtiman. What is the second line? Gopanam Swajano Asatam Shiti Bhujam. So like these people like who are miscreant kings, for them, Krishna was appearing as Shastra, like Sashan Karne Wala, like the punisher. So here we see that a devotee who's practicing Krishna consciousness is thinking in this way. So then like I kind of spent a lot of time explaining this particular aspect that the Lord the main business is not punishing. The main business is to like the Lord is glorified as an all merciful personality, all accommodating personality. He in fact in Bhagavad Gita also he says apichet suduracharo bhajate ma mananya bhak. If somebody is like practicing Krishna consciousness very nicely No, he even offers them title that he is a sadhu. No, he should be considered as a sadhu, even if he is performing some, or even if he found to perform some sudurachara, like very very degraded activity. So, but the qualification is that bhajatam ananyabhag. No, he's like satata yukta. No, always engaged in Krishna consciousness. So then this is the qualification. If satata yukta is there, or if like constant execution of Krishna consciousness is there, so and if the devotee is sincere in the practice of Krishna consciousness, that is sufficient. Even if he falls, or even if he falls very badly, no, still it is not a problem. No, his sincerity alone is sufficient. No, Krishna will save him. No, that is the most important aspect of this bhakti yoga. So now we see that this initiation process means a devotee actually has this goal fixed, that I want to attain Krishna, and then he is willing to apply himself to the process of Krishna consciousness, and then he actually keeps himself, like, if all these things are needed for a person to actually see the result. Otherwise this bell metal will not transform into gold. So bell metal aise rahega. And then if we try to exchange, like, the person who is receiving, he'll beat us with the bell metal. No, paisa nahi milega. No, gold if you give, no paisa milega. Bell metal if you give, you'll not get anything, right? So it is very essential. All these steps are very, very essential in Krishna consciousness. So a person in Krishna consciousness, he also should know that, like, he should, by practical realization, he should understand that I cannot attain Krishna by my endeavor. No, I cannot, like, the goal that I have taken is very, very sacred, and I cannot get it by my endeavor, and I have to get it only by the mercy of the Lord, and the mercy of the Lord is distributed through the parampara system. And I have to be engaged in devotional service. And again, this aspect in today's translation also we saw that until unless we engage in the service of the Lord, it is not going to be, everything else is of useless. Your birth as your taking a spiritual master, or taking the worship of deities and things like that. So until unless I engage in service of the Lord, it is all useless. So now somebody may ask, like, taking a spiritual master is like a very big thing. That means, like, I've admitted into the process of Krishna consciousness. So then still, what is this aspect of service of the Lord? So service of the Lord means it should be a bona fide service of the Lord, and it should be something what the Lord wants. It is not that look-alike. Something, like, somebody asked, like, if chanting is service, yeah, chanting is service, and reading is service, yeah, reading is service. Like, like, all these things appears to be service. Building a temple is service, yeah, it's service. But we have to ask right now, whether Krishna wants me to execute this particular thing or not, and how will I get to know that? So the service of the Lord is distributed again through the parampara system, and I need to get a bona fide service. I need to get a bona fide spiritual master. I need to get a bona fide service, and then I have to execute that service for the satisfaction of the Lord. So that is also very nicely mentioned here. Similarly, one's activities may be mundane or spiritual, but they are useless if they are not meant for satisfying the Lord. So first is that it should be a bona fide service. It should be some service that the Lord wants. And second is that by execution, by the way we execute it, the Lord should be pleased with that. So these two are very, very essential things. So otherwise, the desired goal of purification of heart and desired goal of becoming attached to the lotus feet of the Lord, it will not happen. It will be just another ritual. So devotees sometimes make fun of the, like, karmis who perform a lot of rituals. And then later on, the karmis will make fun of devotees. What is this guy? This guy is also making some ritual only. He is practicing since so long and no transformation. So transformation of heart should be there. And for that, this aspect of humility, that I cannot attain this goal by my endeavor. I need to have the mercy of the spiritual master. I need to have the mercy of Pancharatrika. I need to have the mercy of the Supreme Lord. So I have to practice this Krishna consciousness in that particular way. So when I'm eager to receive the mercy, and then I know how to sustain the mercy, so then I will be able to make progress in Krishna consciousness. So the eagerness to receive the mercy is expressed in the way of prayers. So, like, if there is no genuine like need that is felt, then the prayers also will not be genuine. So the genuine need of I need the mercy is very, very essential. So then the proper prayers will come. And then when the mercy of the Lord actually comes, so one need to know also how to sustain the mercy. No, if we like initially we see that most of the times before initiation, devotees are very humble. After initiation, after a few years, they sometimes become little proud. So then what happens? The sustaining factor is lost. So the factor of gratitude is very essential. So when the gratitude is there, so that is the sustaining factor. So then we can sustain the mercy, and then we can attract more mercy into the system. So otherwise it is not possible. So I was just recently, in few classes, I was just mentioning this particular shloka. So it is very much helping me in my Krishna consciousness. So this shloka which Sudama tells to Krishna, when Krishna actually embraced Sudama, so that time he says, no, Kvaham daridra papiyan, Kwa Krishna Sri Niketana, Brahma Bandhuritis Maham, Bahubhyam Parirambita. So he mentions that when Krishna actually embraces Sudama, so he mentions Kwa aham, who am I? No, Daridra Papiyan. So I am very fallen. No, I am very fallen. No, Daridra means a poor person is called Daridra. No, I don't have any good qualities. I don't have any Krishna consciousness. I don't have any devotional qualifications. No, and then Papiyan. No, I am actually sinful. No, actually speaking, if you analyze Sudama's life, no, he was very poor. No, but then he never engaged in the business of stealing or cheating anybody and things like that. If genuinely he is poor, and if he is not having anything to eat, he's just remains hungry. No, he doesn't go and do any illegal activities to secure something for himself. He is never a sinful man. And that too, he got the association of Krishna in the childhood. He was very nice friend of Krishna. Right. So with all this qualification, he is telling that he is comparing himself to be Daridra and Papi. So now when we receive certain Krishna conscious blessings, and we think that itna to banta hi hai, itna to milna hi hai mera, so ya nahi to aur bhi milna chahiye, kam mil gaya. So it's very important. Even if we get one grain of prasad, we should be grateful to that. We should be grateful to every single thing that we are receiving in the process of Krishna consciousness. If we think that I am supposed to get this anyway, so then it becomes a problem. Then we will not be able to access the mercy of the Lord. Then we will not be able to make no further progress in Krishna consciousness. So he is mentioning this particular thing, and then he says, Kwa Krishna Sri Niketana. Who is Krishna? Krishna is Sri Niketana. He is the abode of all the good qualities. He is abode of all the opulences. He is such an amazing person. So he has very high regard for Krishna, and he is having very low regard for himself, right? And then such a person, he has came and he has embraced me. So in our condition, what all things we can actually count upon like this. So we are trying to vibrate the holy names of the Lord, and the holy names of the Lord are emanating from our mouth. What is the reason? Why should it actually even come? So we should not even be awarded this opportunity to vibrate the holy name of the Lord, but the Lord is so merciful. He is appearing from my mouth, right? And we are allowed to take prasadam. We are allowed to take darshan of the Lord. We are allowed to attend the morning program. So every time we get an opportunity to perform a devotional service, so we can actually remember this particular thing, that who am I? What is my qualification? Why should I be offered this great fortune of being engaged in devotional service? I should not be getting any of these things, but still the Lord is very merciful. He is giving me this thing. So when we actually appreciate in this particular aspect, this one, so then we make a tremendous progress in Krishna consciousness. So these are all the moments when we actually make advancement in Krishna consciousness. Other times, simply we are rotating our mala, or simply we are turning the pages, not much of advancement is actually happening. But when we come in the proper mood, when we put ourselves in our proper position, and then we put Krishna in his proper position, so then when the potential difference between these two positions are really great, then the current of Krishna consciousness actually flows, right? So otherwise it doesn't flow. So now we see, thus if one is initiated by proper person, he can be accepted as twice born immediately. In our Krishna consciousness movement, we therefore offer the students first initiation and allow him to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. By chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra regularly and following the regulative principles, one becomes qualified to be initiated as a Brahmana. Because unless one is qualified Brahmana, he cannot be allowed to worship Lord Vishnu. So here we see that this one, Prabhupada was giving second initiation, maybe 6 months gap, from first initiation. So, and he was engaging the devotees so intensely in Krishna consciousness, So one time I was reading the book of Vaisheshika Prabhu. There, like one devotee, like it is Vaisheshika Prabhu himself, or he is citing one devotee's this one, that how they were standing in the street, they were trying to distribute the books of Srila Prabhupada. Why? Because Prabhupada wanted it. They didn't know anything. They didn't know anything beyond that. So they simply wanted to distribute because Prabhupada wanted it. And then they were standing in the street, and they were trying to see that they went to a very remote place, and they saw that there are no people in the streets, and everything seems to be very what is that without any people over there. So such an area they went, and then now what to do, they have load of books and they have to do something. So, and they are sitting there and they are praying in the street, now what to do, we have come to such a place. So, and then they're very intensely praying that suddenly some breakthrough happens. And I was just seeing this hopelessness and praying with this such intensity. It's actually a very, very high stage of devotional service. It is not like very ordinary thing. We see that this emotion is expressed, very deep emotion of this what is that? The intense intense desire to attain the Lord is actually translated in this particular way. Intense desire to execute the will of the spiritual master, order of the spiritual master. And when will that order be executed? So this is a very, very high stage of devotional service actually. And they were standing in the street and they were praying very intensely, and they're getting the reciprocation. Somebody opens the door or somebody comes along, and then he's completely a drunkard and he wants to take a book. So it is quite a very amazing thing. And Prabhupada made them, he put them into such a very solid process of Krishna consciousness. They were praying with anxiety. The prayers were coming and they were doing that laulyam, that Rupa Goswami actually mentions. All those qualities, they are coming because Prabhupada had given such daunting instructions to so many people, and they had to execute it. And just to execute the instructions of or orders of Srila Prabhupada, they were literally praying very, very helplessly. And that is the perfection of Krishna consciousness. So when we come to the level of helplessness and when we offer such intense prayers, so then we actually make tremendous progress in Krishna consciousness. I thought of finishing it early. So now we see, I'll just summarize the rest of the portion here. So the main aspect of the rest of the portion of the purport is that Prabhupada is mentioning that even if a person is born in a family of a Chandala, very low born, but still if he is put into this process of intense Krishna consciousness, he can be transformed. But on the other hand, if a very, very well qualified person, he is born in the Brahmana family, he has got a very good body, the apparatus is very good, right? He can, he has very good memory capacity, he has natural inclination to be there in mode of goodness. All these good qualities are there, but still he is not engaging in the devotional service of the Lord. So then what is the use of getting all those good qualities, right? So in this way, this is one portion of the purport. And the other portion of the purport is that Prabhupada is mentioning that one may have such long duration of life, the duration of life, expertise, and then the very nice apparatus and being in the mode of goodness, all sort of good things we can actually take into picture. But with all these things, if devotional service is not there, so it is not of any use. So the real purifying agent is the remembrance of the Lord or the practice of intense Krishna consciousness. And in the absence of it, maybe externals may be good. So in the absence of it, it is of no use actually. So even if it means that we are not getting some good facilities, but still if you are getting an opportunity to practice intense Krishna consciousness, so then that kind of a situation is very nice, right? So it is mentioned, a living entity is the eternal servitor of the Supreme Lord, and unless he comes to the platform of devotional service, his lifespan, good birth, glorious activities, and everything else are null and void, right? So with this, Srila Prabhupada actually finishes. So I just pause my discussion. Any questions or comments? Can take. Yes. He raised the hand.
For initiation, one should be like the qualification is to be fixed, getting fixed into both. We understand that, as we told, like otherwise one will not be fixed up. But then you also told like the merciful aspect of this Bhakti Yoga path, that how Krishna personally helps and directs the jiva, even though he doesn't, he may not want. So how to like see both these aspects? Like, because we see in case of like proper giving initiation, like I think yesterday or somewhere, like, I heard that they even like the initial example, like after initiation they were like introduced to what is the rules. Like so how to see like these both?
Yeah, Prabhupada was taking a lot of chance and risk in the beginning, actually. So he had to bring the process into the place, and he was an expert person. He was a person with intense Krishna consciousness, so he can invest, that power, spiritual power, into people. So, like he was doing a lot of this one. So, but he then brought the process to stabilization later point in time. So, this aspect of being fixed in the goal, and also sometimes the devotee not wanting. No, this is something very important to understand. Being fixed in the goal, it's not that one-time job. No, it is a constant job. No, at this moment, I may be having desire that yes, I have to perfect my life, I have to become a nice devotee, and then I go out and I see somebody, and then just like Ajamila, like he saw somebody, and then like his desire changed. No, so the being fixed up in the goal is not one-time process. No, it is a every moment process. No, every moment I have to convince myself this is the goal. No, I have to be like fixed on this goal. So, and there is a chance, we are there in the material world, always there is a chance that we may be deviated from this goal, right? And even if we perform nice devotional service and then we deviate, no, Krishna is going to drag us. And from the beginning, like we have not done anything only, then it is little difficult. So no, then Krishna will provide us opportunity, many different opportunity. So one thing is sure, Krishna is not a sadist. No, Krishna is not a person like who's trying to see like jitna maar sakta marenge. Krishna is a person. He's a nice person. No, he actually wants the living entity to come closer. No, and only when a living entity performs serious offenses and he becomes completely corrupt, so then it is a problem. But otherwise, a small chota mota offenses and all is chalega, just like Indra offended Prithu Maharaj by Prithu Maharaj is a pure devotee and usko ghoda chura ke chala gaya. So it is a big offense actually. So but then the Lord Indra is also a big devotee, and Prithu Maharaj is also a big devotee. So and then the Lord, rather than punishing Indra, rather than taking him off Krishna consciousness, he came and then he made them both friends. And then he didn't even remove the position of Indra. He asked them continue in your position. So an onlooker may ask, "Arey, like itna bada aparad hua, like such a big offense has happened. Like what is the reaction? What like there is nothing that is given. Yeah, like there are some other aspects are there. So but then like overall we see that he is again restored to the practice of Krishna consciousness. He is not deprived of his execution of Krishna consciousness. Rather, he became little bit ashamed, and then his humility increased and he became more serious devotee. So in that way, like Krishna actually makes this arrangement. It's not that when we commit offense, like Krishna will immediately take the devotee out of Krishna consciousness. It's not like that. थोड़ा बहुत टिंकरिंग करके like अंदर लेके आ जाते हैं, denting venting, सब चीज निकाल के लेके आ जाते हैं. So that is the mercy of the Lord actually. So if that means we can understand to go out of Krishna consciousness means we have to be really very determined, no, really very determined. So otherwise it is very difficult to go out of Krishna consciousness, you know. So because the Lord is also working to take us back, you know, even then we are going out means like really we should be determined. Yes, I have to go out. So then only we'll be able to go out. Otherwise it is not possible.
From our side, we should be like fixed up means like trying to
Sincere.
sincerely performing, and after that something happens, then God will.
Yeah. So my mentor used to tell me always, no, better you become serious in Krishna consciousness. No, it will be very nice. Otherwise, if Krishna has to make you serious, it will be very difficult. No, very, very painful. So, no, if we ourselves become serious, then it is nice. You know, if Krishna has to make us serious, it will be painful. Like that. Yes, Prabhu.
Last part of the translation, one's activity may be mundane or spiritual, but they are useless. They are not meant for satisfying the Lord. So, here, some spiritual activities which are not meant for satisfying the Lord. Does that mean impersonal path?
No, spiritual activity, for example, you see that no all no like if there is some little bit of prasadam is there. No, honoring prasadam is definitely a spiritual activity. But there is another devotee is there. No, so then no, it is like a proper etiquette that we should share prasadam with them, right? So and then like we say like that time we quote this one saying that no, this is honoring prasadam is spiritual activity. I will only take. So then it is not going to please the Lord. No, externally it is a spiritual activity, but then it is not going to please the Lord, right? So like that.
And the yajna, when performing the yajna, or they are meant for satisfying Vishnu, but they are doing it for some experience, some material motive to gain something. So will that be spiritual?
No. Spiritual becomes when it is offered, when it is offered to the Lord. So this shloka is there in the second canto Bhagavatam. Tapasvino, dana para, yashashvino, manasvino, mantra. Anybody remembers that shloka? Where Shukadeva Goswami is glorifying the Lord. So before he speaks, tapasvino, dana para, yashashvino. I'll just try to. Tapasvino, dana para, yashashvino, manasvino, mantra vidassu mangala, shemam na vindati. Shemam na vindati. Like that means the result, no, you will not get the result. Vinaya darpanam. No. So like it is tapasvino, like no, somebody who's a very, very great tapasvi, dana para, no, somebody who's a very charitable person. And then yashashvino, somebody who's having very good fame. And manasvino, mantra vida sumangala. So like somebody is like very expert in chanting mantras and all these things. So shemam na vindati vinaya darpanam. So till the time I offer this for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord, I am not going to get the ultimate result of that particular activity. Tasmai subhatre tasmai subhatra shavase namo nama. So I just read the translation. Let me offer my respectful obeisances and to the all auspicious Lord Sri Krishna again and again, because the great learned sages, the great performers of charity, the great workers of distinction, the great philosophers and mystics, the great chanters of the Vedic hymns, and the great followers of Vedic principles cannot achieve any fruitful result without dedicating of such great qualities to the service of the Lord. So it is very, very important. So this line, Shemam na vindati vinaya darpanam is a very important this one. Yeah. Done for his satisfaction. So that's very important. So it is, yeah, this is also another, this one that devotees have. So we should call the Lord that, without any expectation. No, only for the service, only for his pleasure, we should engage in devotion service. We should remember him. Yeah, that is very good. No, but then, no, it is for any reason if we actually call out to the Lord. No, it is very nice. So in the this one in the seventh canto Bhagavatam, when this question is asked, no, to Parikshit Maharaj, no, why the Lord takes sides, no, why Lord is partial and stuff like that. So that time, no, in the course of discussion, he mentions, no, kamat, krodhat, no, different this ones he is mentioning, out of bayat, no, huh? Dveshat, no, out of enmity, out of no fear and out of lust, no, whatever may be the reason. If somebody is intensely remembering the Lord is a purifying agent. No, he purifies. No, like just like if you touch the fire with love or hatred, the fire will burn. In the same way, you go and approach the Lord with any mood, the Lord will purify. No, so in that way, like it is in any way we remember the Lord, it is very nice. But we also want to become no nice devotees. No, by like offering pleasure to the Lord. No, we want to like come to that particular stage. So is it wrong at all, like to call in this particular way, like in the fearful state or something like that? Is it not? Is it a lower kind of bhakti? No, it is not like that. So if we are going to Lord only for that sake, then it is a lower kind of bhakti. But if our natural this one is that we want to execute devotional service for the pleasure of the Lord, and when we have difficult situation, we take shelter of the Lord in this way. No, out of fear we call out to the Lord. So that is perfectly okay. No, that is accommodated even in Uttama Bhakti. No, even in the Vrajavasis, like who was the highest devotees, no, they also no call out to the Lord, no, out of fear. No, like when this Govardhan Lila happens also, like he says, all the Vrajavasis, they come and say, no, to Krishna, like, no, you are our master, no, you are our maintainer, and you are the maintainer of all the cows here. So, no, and no, please, like, save us. No, now we are in difficulty. So this is a very nice this one. No, when Lord actually likes, no, it is just like, no, somebody may have different like no children, and no, one child is like very nice, no, like it is always rendering nice service to the parents, and another side is like another child is like very notorious. No, the parent will like know both the child, so it is not like no, one devotee is like nice, rendering nice devotional service. No, one devotee is like calling me out of fear. Like no, all are acceptable for Krishna. No, and Krishna relishes. No, all these different relationships. So it is not a problem. No, that particular thing is not a problem. Okay. So we will conclude today's session here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.